A very good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us week after week. Really appreciate that. I know it's not easy for you to come back from school and spare some time for us, but this presence of yours really motivates us to connect with you every week and share our knowledge and collaborate with you. That's what keeps us going. So today's topic is digital transformation, a view from the cloud. And I and Amit are your hosts, and Nishu is the moderator. So keep your questions or any doubts, keep it going on the chat window, please. Nishu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Jyoti, very clearly.
Great. So today's topic is digital transformation. What is digital transformation? To understand that, basically we have to know what is digital learning first. So digital learning is an instructional practice that effectively uses technology to strengthen a student's learning experience. It enhances high quality pedagogy and provides access to challenging content, feedback through formative assessments, opportunities for learning anything, anywhere, and personalized instruction to help each student reach their full potential. So this is what in very small, crisp word is digital learning. And what is digital transformations? Where lectures are delivered in the form of interactive presentations in classrooms, gamification applications are used to provide learning opportunities to students, online quizzes and platforms are where helping teachers assess their students. But there's much more to digital transformation. When looking at the elements that support the idea of digital transformation of process in school, one must look from a holistic perspective. You need to consider what teachers need, what students need, and what school administration needs. There are 2, 3 levels we have to see how we can actually have a holistic transformation of the whole school. Basically, we are all working towards creating improved and effective learning experiences for our students. They need a learning environment which boosts their engagement and attainment. Digitalization has made this possible, but today teachers are using, like we all are using, Skype collaboration, virtual field trips, collaborative sessions, assessments, online quizzes like Quizlet and Kahoot. So all these, many of us are already on the path of digital transformation. So cloud computing is actually one of the very essential pillars of digital transformation. And I will give it to Amit to talk about cloud computing. Amit, over to you, please.
Yeah, very good evening to everybody. As Jyoti is telling to us about the digital transformation, especially in education domain. So, digital transformation is very essential part to deliver a quality of education to our students, so that everybody get connected each other and they can teach and learn from anywhere and anytime. So, for achieving these things, there is a vital role of cloud computing in this regard. So basically, cloud computing was invented by Joseph Carl Robert Lincoln in 1960 with his work on ARPANET to connect people and data from anywhere at any time. Anywhere and any time. So cloud technology refers to act of storing and accessing information in various programs over the internet instead of accessing it or keeping in the computer hard drive. So the cloud also offers a collaborative environment that allows schools in different cities, states, and even countries to collaborate and create partnership to improve learning and increase student engagement. The cloud can bridge classroom and learner around the world. So basically, you see how cloud is connecting to each other through a single entity.
Yeah, Amit, that's right, actually, because all of us have many times heard about cloud computing. We are connected to cloud, but many people are not still clear what exactly is cloud. So basically, we are talking about server, right, Amit? That everything is connected to the server. We are like our notebooks, our
Exactly.
database, everything is
Yeah.
connected, right?
So, in any very layman's language, everything is a place at a central place, and anybody can access who has a connectivity with that place. They can access that content.
Okay. Okay. So that's a very simple language. Thanks, Amit. So why should schools be using cloud computing actually, because technology is evolving at a very rapid pace and it's easy for schools to feel under pressure to adopt the latest thing and they get overwhelmed, when they want to attempt to integrate even technologies every day, there's a pressure on schools also, So it's
Yeah.
very important for schools not to get bogged down with technology, but instead focus on the transformation of teaching, leadership, and learning that can be done. They should go in very small steps.
So basically, cloud computing help us to reduce certain things, manage IT infra in our schools. You need some hardware, you need some software, and you need to maintain all those things. And for maintaining all those things, you have to spend some costs. You have to place some manpower. You have to get a proper place to organize all these things. To saving all these things, we can use cloud computing to uh, improve it much more better IT deliveries.
Basically, Amit, we are talking about like it makes the schools and administration and everybody much more efficient, right? It saves our time, it saves our
Exactly.
resources. We don't have to save it on our own drive, right, Amit?
Exactly. In current or previously, we were having some server in school environment. We put some software in that server, and we used to access those software from the locally located server. So sometime it's happened if you some any power failure, so then your server will be down and you won't be able to access your data. Or if you are outside from your school network, you wanted to access that data and you don't have a proper internet connectivity, you can't access that data. So if you on a cloud, so anywhere from any time, wherever you have a internet connectivity, you can access your data without any hassles. There is a no power failure issues. There is no software glitches kind of thing will be, because these things are taken care by uh, hosting providers. There are many hosting providers are available, majorly Google Cloud Service, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure Cloud Services are there. These are the major player.
So basically, these people are the host, they are the server host, right? They're
Yeah,
providing us a lot
yeah,
of space to put all our information on the servers, right?
exactly.
Jyoti, just
Yeah.
wanted to ask Amit about one thing. Amit, just tell me, that means on a server, when you were saying, that means school server, right? School server,
Hmm.
local server is what you
Yeah,
meant. Now with these clouds, yeah, it's company server that we are accessing, but for both we need internet, right?
yeah. For the connectivity, you whoever wants to access the data, they need internet connectivity.
Okay. But
The
just in
only thing
case,
is
as you were,
required, and
server is down.
the beauty is that you can access the data from any device. It's not necessary you have to have a PC or a laptop. If you have a mobile device, you can access the data from the mobile device also.
Okay. Okay, great.
What I wanted to know was, what is the meaning of server being down?
Okay,
Very good
I'm
server
question.
not
being
asking you
down.
technically. Here I'm asking
uh,
you in a layman's language, that what does it mean?
so just take it as example as a scenario. There is a server is running who's serving some applications, some stored data, and that server got some OS failure, some
Okay.
OS operating system related failure occurred, and it's not working. Then if this occur, then user won't be able to access the data, or they won't be able to run that hosted software on that server. So if it is hosted on a proper cloud hosting server, so those people taken care of these things. They take care your operating system, they take care about their latest patches. Recently you have heard about this this nasty malware, this ransomware.
Yes.
So if your OS is not properly patched with the current latest patches, so it might be some hacker will be on your server and they can steal your data. So for time to time, these data centers place the manpower to who maintain all these servers. So in a bulk, there are monitoring things are going on continuously who take care of your all hosted servers and applications. So from these perspectives, your all data and software and every IT infrastructure will be saved. You do not need to put some extra layer of monitoring or security from your school and or your organization and to securing those things.
Okay, thank you, Amit. Really, that helps. And thanks, Nishu, for that excellent question. So many times we go to we go to a bank or somewhere else, you say, ma'am, server down, right? So
Ah,
Yeah.
now we understand what exactly it means by, server is down, because basically we are unable to access that information for on that particular time, so that there's something going wrong with the operation system or server doesn't mean that our information is being lost or somewhere. It's just that the system is down temporarily, right, Amit?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. So now I will just list down like four. There are many benefits, but four main benefits of cloud computing in education, which are like,
So
best is no more.
especially, so it's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Please carry on.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. Please carry. So if you talk about especially in education domain, so there are these key features who are benefiting our education domain. So if you have hosted all your books converted into ebooks, so these ebooks can be distributed amongst the student easily, and whatever content will be updated in those textbooks, though, and those updated content will be delivered to every students instantly. It won't be like every updated books will be come as a new edition or older edition. So student has to buy a new edition. So if it is those books in book format, then students will get always updated content. Okay, so and there is a no expensive hardware required for every end. Okay, every end means every school do not need to purchase hardware. They do not need to spend money to maintain that hardware and purchasing that licenses of that operating system application licenses. And like this third point is no expensive software is required. It means there are software, if you suppose for example if you need a software for a video editing, then every school has to purchase that video editing software for all student number. So if you have a hosted software that your multiple student can use that software in a one go, simultaneously everybody can use that software. So the costing will be reduced. Yeah, some costing will be there, but it will be reduced. So at the bottom end, it will be cheaper.
Okay.
Reaching more and more diverse student means like the reachability of the solution of the software data will be increased. So whoever having internet connectivity, they reach up to the data. They can dig out the information which is stored from the other servers.
Yeah, that's actually very nice, Amit, because these are such very simple but very basic advantages. First is many people can't afford, right? The many people can't afford those expensive books year after
Exactly.
year. So, when you have these e-books, there the cost is much lesser, and also then you don't require a latest, computer or a latest tablet to access that. Any computer, any basic computer
This,
you can use to access these textbooks. And the best is that you can reach the many people who are not able to go to school, still they want to learn. So they have still access to wherever they are located. If they have access to basic internet, they can access these books, right?
yeah. And nowadays, most of the publishers are available with the ebooks.
Yeah,
And there
that's
are
yeah.
government initiatives are there where people can download books in the e-book format. Like NCRT is providing all books in e-book format.
Yeah.
Okay, let's next slide. So, so benefits of the migration to the cloud services. So, like I previously said, so if you migrate from hosted environment to cloud hosted environment, mean to migration to cloud services. So basically, you will be utilize your all invested single pennies. Like if you invested whatever you are for your IT. So sometimes it becomes underutilized. If you buy a server and you hosted one application on top of it, and you are not utilize, then you are not utilizing a whole capacity of your hardware. So those things are underutilized. So utilizing the full full of your money value. So if you will use cloud services, so there are techniques who utilizes full of your hardware resources. You can host your multiple application on the same server, and this there are multiple just a minute. Okay, so there are three types of hosting services are available, like IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS means infrastructure, uh, so infrastructure oriented services, and again is software service. Just a minute, where it has gone.
Amit, can you please explain in a little
Software
simpler
architecture.
language, please?
So like I'm just going to that because I'm just searching that particular thing. So basically, as a for example, for Office 365, we are using Office 365 on a SaaS model. Basically, it's a subscription-based service. Whoever is having subscription of Office 365, they are able to use all the services of Office 365, whether it is email, calendar, Skype, Sway, Forms. So all these things are available to the user on a subscription basis. So another, like I told you, this infrastructure subscription model is like you have to buy a server which is remotely located. There you can host or install your in-house applications, so that your if you have a multiple offices geographically in a same country or a multiple country, and everybody wants to access the same application, so that the cloud solution is the best practice.
Yeah, but this
Just
is in
host
case
that
like we
your
have, just a minute, Amit. This is in case where we have changed schools, right? So the schools are located in
yeah
different cities, but our main system
yeah
is one, so we are accessing the same information. So it's very helpful in those
exactly
scenarios, right?
yeah exactly.
Okay.
So that IAS model will help you. Then again, there is a model PAS, packaged services. Packaged services means you do not need to buy a whole server. Just you need to buy a SQL server and this SharePoint services. So you do not need to pay for a server and other things. You just have to pay for a SQL server and SharePoint, where you can utilize the services of SQL server and your SharePoint services to running your app business applications. So
So
basically, these are things, these are models are available to reducing your cost, your monitoring, and your ease of access and running your infrastructure.
okay. So basically, what you're saying is depending on the need of the school, like how much space or how much, how much the size of the school, the number of the students in school, they can buy the space on server, right? If it's a huge
Yeah.
school, they can buy a bigger facility and a bigger space. If it's a smaller school, they can buy a smaller facility and a smaller space, right?
So I'm just taking an example for this thing.
Okay.
Suppose if a school is having a ERP system and it has a three branches in different cities,
Can you
and
say what
the
is
main
ERP, please, for everybody?
uh, ERP means LMS system, learning management system, and which stores the students' data, result analysis, and academic performance, attendance. All these things will be stored in LMS. So if you have a multiple branches in multiple cities, so you that main branch or a main head office of the school wants to get all the data from a central place. So for that thing, for that particular purpose, cloud services would be most valuable. Just host a cloud server for your organization and install that application and create subsections of every remote organization, like other remote schools. So whoever schools will store their data, then head office would be able to fetch all the data from the school wise. They can make a comparisons which school is performing better, and so those things will make uh, boost to their making their
Basically,
business
it'll save them time and it'll make them more efficient. They can just,
exactly.
access everything.
So
All right.
no need to address school individual schools. They can gather all the data from a central location.
Okay. So that's what we are saying in the next slide, like why store on the cloud? So they're just simple 5 points.
Exactly.
We don't have to carry our devices around. It's very easy
Exactly.
access and stability and security of our data. It's not going anywhere. And then you can track it. Somebody is updating it. You know who's updated when. All that can be tracked very easily. And of course, it's very simple to collaborate. When you're collaborating within your school, within your teachers. So it's very easy access for each other's emails,
So,
each other's information is there on a very safe surroundings. That's what it is. It's in a
so
very
Jyoti,
basic
a
layman
perfect
language.
example of this slide is our Office 365 product, OneDrive. If you have a OneDrive, so then you do not need to carry your pen drive. So wherever you go, you can access your files. You can share with others. You can build your file and increase the content of the file in collaborative manner. And every time it's safe, and nobody can access it without your permissions.
Yeah.
So just I think we can skip this slide because we spoken about all about this cloud computing. So basically, this is the depiction whatever I said that previous slide, and by taking the example of a school ERP.
Yeah,
Amit,
basically, yeah.
there is a question asking that they presume that prior permission may have to be taken for privacy issues. Is there any privacy issue involved in this?
For what?
Uh, do we need to seek permission for the cloud to be used? Is it like that?
Like what she means to ask is like, how do you go about it, right? How do you start to use the cloud computing,
Okay,
right?
okay. For taking that availing cloud services.
Yes.
Okay. For availing cloud services, first we have to
Anything which is
find
involved,
out which
do we need to seek permission for
kind.
it? How to go about it? There is a
Yeah,
question in the chat box.
I'm just telling you. So basically, first we have to find out which model of cloud services we would like to have. Like I told you, there are three model of cloud services are available. So if in case you need to a subscription model like SaaS, subscription service model for Office 365, so just go for that and take the Office 365 subscription from the Microsoft. Similarly, there is a subscription model available with Adobe Creative Cloud. There are many other softwares are available for the user subscription model. If you wanted to host your school ERP, then we have to go for a IaaS. We have to purchase Azure subscription from the Microsoft, or Amazon Web Services subscription from the Amazon.com, or from Google Cloud Services from the Google. In that case, they will give us a server according to our configuration requirement. Configuration requirement means how much processor capacity you want, how much RAM you wanted in your server, how much hard disk capacity you wanted in your server. So based on your these requirements, they will allocate a server dedicatedly for you, and then you can host application or a data on that server.
ये वो मेरे पापा हैं
Okay.
अच्छा क्या थी पापा है
पापा ने
So Office 365 basically is the best example of cloud computing, right? Many of us are already using that service. So that's the best example of cloud computing. We don't have to buy the software. Microsoft is giving you a free subscription to Office 365 where you have access to all the applications, although only online. But still, it's a great service. If somebody doesn't have an Office on their computer, like they don't have Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, or any other feature, but they have access to all the online things. So imagine somebody who cannot afford it, but people in schools, Microsoft has given free access to students and teachers. It's such a great facility they're offering, free of cost. That's what is cloud all about, right, Amit?
Yeah. So for regarding Office 365, it is available in two model. Office Online, it's completely free, and one is Office Offline also. So it is offline. If you are wanted to use Office without internet connectivity, so then you have to go for an Office Offline, which is paid, and through that you can implement hybrid model also. So hybrid model means whatever you will store your data in your computer, it will automatically will be saved at the cloud also, Office 365 cloud also. So like this slide is saying, so this tabs plus this on-premises hybrid online. So if you put a hybrid model, then all your data will be synced in a both ways, offline and offline. So the data redundancy will be there, so you won't lose your data in any way. If your device is not available, then you can access your from the online. If you don't have a online connectivity, you can access your data from the offline, and whenever you would be get connectivity, then your data will be synced in a both ways.
Basically, what you're trying to say is whether there will be no loss of data. Even if
Yes.
we don't have internet for some time in between, our data will not be
Yeah.
lost, right?
Yes.
That's great. That's excellent, facility. If in spite of being an online version, and if we don't lose our data, that's a great facility that's what is cloud computing.
Yeah, Amit, there is another question. They're asking if OneDrive can be accessed without Office 365.
Yeah, you can use OneDrive without Office 365, but you have to create your Microsoft ID. Through Microsoft ID, you can avail OneDrive, but that OneDrive will be OneDrive Personal, which offers you only 5 GB storage data. So if you would like to avail this bigger storage, then you have to go with the Office 365 and avail OneDrive for Business, where you get 1 terabyte data per user.
And also for your personal account, what you're mentioning, it should be an Outlook or an Hotmail account, not a Gmail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like this slide is saying, this Office 365 hosted cloud service is serving you the different purposes with different tools like email, calendar, and contacts. If your school wish to communicate and get connected with the parents, students, and teachers, then the email and calendar and contacts is the best tool. And again, this web conferencing is being utilized for a voice, video, screen sharing, recording, and lecture capture. And there's one more product in that for a video repository. It's a Microsoft Stream. So again, this collaborative work being utilized with the school team, Microsoft Teams, and SharePoint and OneDrive. So again, this productivity tools is include the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote.
Oh.
So Jyoti, I guess we provided that link for Office 365 book,
So if
which
Nishu, you can just
express.
Nishu, please put that link on the chat window, please, because it's what is it? It's a small ebook for lot of information on how to use Office 365 very effectively. What all 3.6 points are written in this slide, you will be able to see all the points, point by point information in that link. What we are just pushing it in the chat window. Nishu, can you do that, please?
Yeah. So basically, Jyoti, what that book help to all educators, it will tell to all of them ki which office tool can be utilized uh, perfectly in which scenarios, what kind
Okay.
of purposes being served
कंप्यूटर
by
प्रेजेंट में
these
जाते
tools.
Okay, that will be great,
वैसे क्या
because in every
कंप्यूटर
school
प्रेजेंट में
there's a
जाते
different
हैं
scenario.
Exactly. So basically the digital transformation can be happen uh,
हाँ
with the help of this book. If a educator or a school leader will opt this practice, then definitely the school will be facilitated for a digital transformation.
इसके भाई इसके गांव के लड़के ने न्यूज में ऐसे दिखाया है ना
अच्छा
इसको सरेंडर कर दिया ये बोल दिया
And at the last slide, here
हाँ
you can see, Jyoti, this at the center of the Office 365. It is serving all kind of school purposes.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture showing you at a
It's
glance,
including all
what
the
are the
services.
tools and how can you use these tools in just one sentences. It's a beautiful depiction of
Exactly.
Office 365.
And
And I'm just going to post a poll here for you on the screen. If you can just click on the right options for me regarding digital transformation as like where your school is. Because I hope if for people who don't know what we're talking about, we're asking like, are you using effective learning experiences for students, like like quizzes, like collaborations, assessments, online quizzes, Kahoot, Skype collaborations. So this is what we mean by actually digital learning. So I will just put a poll there. Just give me a second, please. So here's the poll. So please click on the right option, what you think is good for your school. Nishu, are you able to see the poll?
यहाँ पे अप्रोच यहाँ ने जो एक रेवोल्यूशन अकेले आपने शुरू किया यहाँ पे उसके साथ हजारों आदमी जुड़ गए हैं आप इसमें जुड़िए इनको अपना करिए और आप अपना कुछ पहले के लेवल की हम सबका है इसमें कौन सेलिब्रिटी है कौन नहीं है हम सब सेम हवा हम लेते हैं एक पानी कार्बन कहता है कि मेरी बात एक जो है हम अपने आप
Paul, Jyoti,
Yeah.
Jyoti, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can anyone see
But
the
I'm not
poll?
able to write in this, so could you think?
So what I'm asking is that I thought people are taking time to click it. Can I please request everyone to mute their microphones, please, because we can get some noises from behind.
Too much noise now suddenly.
Yeah, I can hear a lot of noises. So
By the name Narinder,
Can
there
you
is
show
a
me a
guest.
thumbs up finger on your, can you show me a thumbs up in case you are able to see the poll? Okay, so what I'm asking is, do you think your school is in the process of digital transformation? So option number one is yes. Option number two is we are in the process of transformation. Option number three is we are still thinking about it. Option number four is no, but we intend to go for it. So just you say option number one, two, three, or four. Just put it in the chat window for me, please. Okay. So many are saying they are in the process of transformation. It's great to know that, that you're all are in the process of digital transformation. It's a great step to know. All right. So I will just go back to our slides just for another, we'll just take 2 more minutes. So here we are coming back to our slide. Nishu, can you see the slide, please?
Jyoti, it's still loading.
Okay.
But I'm not able to type in that link. If you can put it.
Okay, so just let me finish this. So basically in the slide we are saying like it shows on a bar graph as what are the favorite, cloud services being used in education. So if you can see on the slide, it shows, the schools are using maximum for storing data, then for messaging, conferencing and collaboration, and of course for office and productivity. So it's, it's showing as K to 12 what all people are using the cloud computing for. Can you see the slide now, Nishu?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
can see
can
the slide
see.
now.
Great. Okay, and here are some limitations. Obviously, something, whatever has advantages, there are always some disadvantages which come with it, which are minuscule in comparison to what advantages we have with cloud computing. So Amit will go ahead and tell you in short, because Amit, we don't have much time. If you
Jyoti,
can very shortly.
on this slide, I would like to say, so before migrating from infrastructure to cloud services, every school has to analyze their requirement. According to their requirement, they have to move on, and they also have to look what kind of achievement will be happen for their school, how it would be cost effective or a performance effective also. So then after they have to take decision accordingly.
Okay.
There is a no fixed rule for that. This should not be. This should be. So the basically the everything is dependent on the school requirement.
Okay. And also, investing in people always helps, it creates a great foundation for a successful digital transformation. Investing in supporting teachers' professional development through technical training will ensure that they feel confident enough to use technology to support great teaching and learning.
So, Jyoti, I have shared some URL at the last slide.
Okay.
I think at the QA slide. So in that note section, people can find out those URLs.
Yeah, give me a second. I will just put it, right? So what I was trying to conclude was that, we all need professional development. Teachers need a lot of training. We all need a lot of information to go in for total digital transformation. And one of the types of professional learning we are doing is through our MIEE group, So like we are all learning and collaborating 24/7 with it. And these sessions, what we are hosting, I'm sure are a great learning opportunity for us and for you. Because we learn so much every time when we are making these presentations, we are doing research on the topics. It's a great learning for us too. So let's keep it going, and I'm sure we can all provide our students with, keep on providing them with engaging learning experiences on and on. So that's what we are all working towards, right? So just give me a second. I will just, if you have any question answers, please post it in the chat window. And our next webinar is on gaming. So it's called Game On, which is on the 10th of October. Again, same time, Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. So please join us. And thank you so very much for joining us. taking out time from your precious schedules, from your family time, from your kids' time. So thank you so much. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Nishu. And I'll just post the link. Give me
Okay,
a second.
thank you.
Thanks. Chalo.